All right, our last review we're going to be doing is for the Penguin, which came out on HBO or Max if you're a modern person. What did you think about my parents? Would probably still call it HBO. What did you think about the Penguin?
I thought it was pretty phenomenal right away. It literally feels. I mean, I love that we're in the Gotham universe, but nothing about it feels like I'm in a superhero universe. This looks like, man, did The Sopranos or like Godfather just got re-released? Like, this is badass when we talk about these mob things or different mob families. I thought like visually it was beautiful. I love to see that we still got those, like, to me, most popular like Gotham images, and one of them is like you got the train track above you with the little
something about
stores
that, right?
underneath, and it's all just dirty and shit. Like, man, it was good. Colin Farrell, man, just fucking daddy, man. He's one of my favorite actors of all time, and I know the makeup is phenomenal, but just the acting itself too, like, what a fucking chameleon, you know?
I gotta throw out, Thomas said it really well. He says, you forget Colin Farrell is playing this character. Like, it's just Penguin. And that's so true when I was watching this.
Yeah. So like visually it's great. I'll go into a little bit of like what I thought was pretty awesome about it. And one of it is like the Penguin. Okay, so when he goes to his mom's house and your mom basically like, stop being a pussy. He's like, you know what? You're right, mama. So then he leaves, but then he starts that war. And I thought one of the most like brilliant things that happened in the movie was Vic. Yeah, Vic coming through, slamming that car into the Falcone family and realizing like, oh shit, Penguin literally just plotted this massive thing. And I'm like, not really going like really into it, but you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Where going to the jail cell, giving the ring to the other mob boss, having that
whole thing,
having that car being smashed into the Falcone family with the finger being off of that dead body. I know you could probably, I don't know how much we want to.
Nah, it's spoilers. I'll put a spoiler tag in the very beginning of the show.
Yeah. So when Vic ripped off that finger, left the ring at the jail cell, and it said payback, I was like, oh my gosh. It was so nice to just not even realize that was going to happen. Like, oh, he's going to like start a war. And he's really not won't be involved in it.
Is he goes to the Maronis, right? Falcones and Maronis. Am I saying that right? Yeah.
Is it Maronis? I thought it started with an S. I could be wrong.
No, it starts with an M. But anyways, but he gives him that ring, and it's like, oh, I want to work for you guys, and it's believable. And I think he still kind of does in a way.
Yeah.
He wants to leave the door open anyways. But then now it's like, oh, he's walking around with that ring on, which was on the sun, proving that it wasn't Penguin, it was him. And it's like, that's clean. That is so freaking smart.
It was.
There's something about how, and I know this is the pilot and this is their first time doing something like this, so they probably just wanted to just hedge their bets. But it's something how this feels like a complete story in the first, 2 episodes or whatever. Or whatever we got. We got one episode.
One episode.
But it feels super complete instead of just being like so much set. When we're normally watching a crime drama like this.
You're right, dude. You're right.
It's so much setup that we don't have an end to anything. We're just like, by the end, they found the dead body. And it's this, like, no, man, if this was just a little mini movie, I would be, good. But no, this was actually a complete story, and I was satisfied. Yeah.
You're right. I didn't even think about that, but you're right. That first episode, when it ends, is satisfying. Like, it doesn't leave like a cliffhanger for the next week, you know?
Right.
Like, everything felt established, and I don't know if, you know, how if that's going to be continued going on, but man, I don't know. Like, that was great. That was great. I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Huh. What do you think? So what do you got? Joe Maisel. I'm going to keep calling him Joe Maisel. I thought he was going to play a bigger role. Threw me off. Falcone's son. I was thinking Miss Maisel. Yeah,
that's right. That's what it is.
And he's so great at doing
dude.
His thing,
I'm watching. I'm like, where is this kid from?
Yeah.
That's what it is. He's such a nice guy in Maisel. Oh man, and he's such a
except for the cheating on his wife and shit. But you know,
well, it was the '60s.
Blame an area for it. That was good.
But yeah, when Penguin just went ahead and shot him, I was like, oh, this is different than what we would expect.
Yeah.
Like, I planned on Penguin kind of like undermining him the whole way and then like shooting him in the final episode. Penguin shot him, and then like it took like a 3-second beat, and then it was like, oh no, like, like I messed up, and he kicked it a second gear. I thought it was a little jarring how he picked up that kid, Vic. It was kind of like, how do you trust this kid? You don't know this kid. It was weird how much he's immediately employing this kid. And it took me a while because he did it later on, and I was like, oh, that's right. He did it when he first met him too. The kid stutters and has a kind of a speech impediment. And so then I'm thinking, oh, maybe Penguin saw the deformity of the kid as, you're on the, and everybody else ran away and that kid was stuck there. So maybe he sees like, oh, that's me when I was a kid or something like that. I'm trying to kind of extrapolate why suddenly
that's pretty good.
Penguin's that's my number one.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I thought about it as more like he's going to finally grab someone. I thought, but it doesn't seem like that way at all because he talked about how he wants to be as like this leader, mob boss, where he knows everybody and they all say hi to him, and it genuinely feels like he has these conversations with people, and like what he explained to the Falcone son. So that's what I thought, but obviously this is coming of like we've seen this before. Pick up the rat on the streets to like bolster him up, which that's my falter with it. It feels too
rushed,
low level. No, it just feels like and I think that's what it is. I didn't think that we were going to get a low level Penguin, like level 1 Penguin. Right. I thought we were going to get like maybe like one like established, and he has that club. He's running certain things, whatever, but not really. So it's different to see Penguin without a crew, I guess.
Yeah, and I just think it's easier for the writers to do it that way than having an established Penguin. And even what power he does have, they're stripping away from him in the first episode. So and the relationships he had too, they're negating that with the sister coming in, which I thought was a fantastic character. I only know her as like Ted Mosby's wife from How I Met Your Mother, and like she's always plays like the love interest or some sort of like, I don't know, kind of a lighter character. She plays a Zoe Deschanel type, and she rolls in and commands the screen when you're going against Colin Farrell, who's portraying Penguin. That part where he's sitting in the chair and she's got him like basically pinned down, and I was like, oh man, she is owning this scene. Matt, I'll go even back further too. When they're having lunch, I was afraid for Penguin. Like, this girl can snap because, of course, she's the little things when they say, like, oh, yeah, I was in Arkham. Like, oh, that's Batman.
I know. And then I went to the wife. She said something about her. I was like, well, let me lay it down on you, honey. She was in Arkham, and that's where they usually, like, the craziest fucking villains go. I tell her. But, yeah, man, like, what you're saying, like, owning the screen, she does a good job at acting that when she's having casual conversations, her fucking eyes tell me that she's a fucking nutcase. Like, man, the fucking, and maybe this is what's different. I'll compare like Marvel and DC, whatever, when it comes to say like Agatha, whatever. Oh, I understand. The fucking actors in this show are like what the fuck? This is like a movie cast, like this is legit. Yeah,
DC's demanding that out of them too. Like Robert Pattinson, like it's one thing to just be the strong guy who's Batman, but if we go back to the Batman that this is the same universe, Robert Pattinson, I mean, he killed it in that role when he's just playing Bruce Wayne and you see him mourning his parents or whatever. Like he killed it in that role in a way that I'm sorry, but I don't think Ben Affleck really acted his way through that very well. He was awesome fighting, but not necessarily as a Bruce Wayne or a Batman. And Jim Gordon, everybody in that movie was fantastic, and I'm glad that carried over into this, and they're keeping that standard high. That yes, you're right, Marvel doesn't necessarily need to do because people are just going to go to a Marvel thing. They don't have to earn this anymore.
And that's So I want to go back a little bit. It's Salvatore for that Bob Boss and Joe.
What's Salvatore's last name?
Let's see, Salvatore
Maroni.
Fuck. I mean, you could be right. It's not showing me. Whatever.
Okay.
But anyway, I'm not going back for that reason. I'm going back because of the cast. So you had the Cristin, like you said, is playing Sophia. Colin Farrell. Clancy Brown is playing as Salvatore, whatever. Mark Strong as Carmen Falcone. I guess he's going to pop up. I don't want to do spoilers of it, but we got, Michael Zigan, which is the fucking Joe Maisel. He's always going to be Joe Maisel to me. I love that Joe series.
Maisel, yeah. Now that you pointed out, I will never unsee it. So.
But then we also had the little scene where Penguin is talking at the table, and he's like, trying to pitch his shipment deal. Michael Kelly is the guy at the end of the table, whatever. Yeah. I'm like, man, you
House
see
of Cards, man. He was so good in House of Cards. Yeah.
Yeah, like you see these characters like, oh, these are real actors in this, and not just like where you're looking at Agatha all along, and you get obviously the main Agatha, and then the one other witch, Blackheart Witch, whatever. Those are only two
Aubrey Plaza.
recognizable. Yeah, Aubrey Plaza.
Yeah. So the other for Agatha all along, the other ones they literally got from Broadway. That's the thing, you don't recognize them very
Got
often.
it. Okay.
They're
okay.
Broadway. That's why I keep saying like it's theater for sure because they got Broadway actors for it.
Got it. Got it.
So Clancy Brown playing. I'll just tell you right now, it is Salvatore Maroni. I looked it up.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Maybe that's why I said it started with the S because I kept hearing Salvatore. Yeah.
You're fair,
Salvatore.
totally fair.
Yeah.
And then I always, to me, whenever I remember like the gangster side of this, I always remember Gotham, the show Gotham that was on Fox.
Oh yeah.
Or Christian Bale's Batman. And in Christian Bale's Batman, that's the one that he's holding up. It's Eric Roberts, where he holds him off to the side and he's like, oh, this won't kill him. He's like, it doesn't need to. And he just breaks his legs and drops him. That's the same character that's in prison now, played by Clancy Brown. So I always love this corner of like mob boss area of Batman that doesn't get touched very often. When we start to explode things out into Mr. Freeze and whatnot, it's good to revisit it again and start hearing these names again because it's complicated.
Yeah, so we got Mr. Freeze for Batman too, right? Is that a confirmed thing? I keep hearing that. I don't know if it's a fan thing or if it's a confirmed thing, but I hear it very often, so I don't know. If
that's the case, then I want to hear like, oh my God, I just thought about it. What if
splurging you right now?
So we know that drops are getting replaced by a new drug. What if they're like, oh, it's we call them ice pops, and we're using Victor Von Freeze for it or whatever to make these ice pops
to tie into the movie. Okay.
Yeah. Because then when Batman 2 comes out, I want to see Penguin on top, and I want to see Victor Von Freeze, doing his thing.
Yeah. Real quick, unfortunate thing. Is this the only series we're going to get for DC right now? Because I'm a little nervous. I'm scared to. I'm excited for what's coming with DC with James Gunn for sure, hands down. But man, I really love this dark tone that they finally, I feel like, nailed with this Batman series, Robert Pattinson Batman, because it's something that just never worked before with the Snyderverse. I love the darkness in Snyderverse, but it just wasn't really there, like it wasn't great. I'll just say that. And now we got something great. I'm like, oh gosh, are we done now with this, or what's going on?
Well, I mean, James Gunn said he's going to let Matt Reeves keep going. And this is going to be an Elseworld. So he's opening the ability for Elseworld stories to exist so that you can have these random, hey, if you really want whatever, a Taika Waititi led, whatever the heck, you can. It'll be an Elseworld one. It doesn't necessarily need to be attached to Batman Legacy or I'm sorry, Superman Legacy or whatever. It's totally.
You think that'd be a hinder to DC overall, though? Like when you see Batman, like Brave and the Bold, and then you have this one. I mean, do you think?
As long as the tones are different enough,
happen. Which one's better? Yeah.
And I'm fully on board with those conversations, and it doesn't matter as long as the tones are different enough, because Batman Brave and the Bold, they already said, is going to be Bat Family Batman. It's not going to be this year one
That's
Batman.
So fucking hot. Yeah.
I know, right?
Yeah.
We have not seen. It's insane. Anybody who reads modern Batman comics, not even modern, last 20-year Batman comics knows he is not a solo artist anymore. He is all about the Bat Family, and it is some of the best Batman stories. Batman, what was the last one that was like so cool? Like Batman, like 98 to 102 or whatever, when there was like the Joker war going on, and we got Punchline started to work. Like all that stuff was so freaking cool. It was like Catwoman might be marrying him, might not. All that stuff was like a whole war going on in Gotham that you needed everybody on deck from the Bat Family. And so I'm looking forward to being able to do that now. But that will feel very different than Robert Pattinson year one Batman, where he has a motorcycle. He doesn't have the tools that like Bat Family Batman has, who has all the tools. So.
Yeah, and you can honestly nail that, which James Gunn should be able to do that easily with this whole like coming together groups, because that's what I feel like he does special with. But that's an Avengers movie alone in one fucking comic book hero, hell yeah, man, give me that shit,
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to see live action version of Nightwing and Red Hood and little Damon Wayne. Like all the Robins are so good, and we only get the one from Batman Forever.
And
maybe we could consider Joseph Gordon-Levitt as a Robin if we want to really stretch the rules on that. It's like he is such a dope character.
I would love. I mean, it works so well because each one is a little different, right? Except for Nightwing and Damian might be somewhat similarities, but you got Red Hood and Batwoman or Batgirl. It would be so cool. You got that. You got that. Like I'm fucking going berserk Hulk way, and then you got
Yeah.
that Scarlet Witch on the other side. That's being her
Yeah.
thing.
And then what is Jason
Oh.
Todd? What does he call him? What's Jason Todd?
Red Robin? No.
Is that what he calls
Jason
himself?
Todd is
I know
Red
that.
Red Hood.
Oh, it's Red Hood. Okay, what's the
Red
other
Hood.
one?
Yeah.
Dick Grayson, Jason
Tim
Todd.
Drake.
Tim Drake, which
Yeah.
is the best of the detective side of Batman. Like he's the
Yeah.
most detective of all of them. And
Yeah.
his suit is actually pretty cool. It's like that all brown suit. It looks pretty dope. So
I'm a huge like Tim Drake Robin fan. Like fuck yeah. Yeah.
Damon Wayne for me.
I know.
I
Yeah.
freaking love him, dude. So cool. I love how he's just like, screw you, Batman. I love how he's just such a little asshole. It's great.
That voice just reminds me of a Robin with the just red underwear on. Like I just that. Man.
All right, let's throw a grade on Penguin. I am giving it an 8 out of 10. Strong 8 out of 10. Yeah. It's hard because I'm comparing it against other crime shows too, so it's kind of a double digit problem. Yeah.
I'll go. My only one thing that I didn't like, I was tuned into the story the whole time. I was locked in. It was even at times where much wasn't even happening. I was so locked into it.
Mm-hmm.
But when mine was the like picking some street rat up to whatever, like we'd done that before. So I'm gonna go 9 out of 10 because that's the only flaw I had really with it. Yeah.
I totally can see that. That was probably its weakest point, but picked a great villain and picked a great hero protagonist is a better term. Yeah. It's fantastic. Make sure you guys check it out. We'll review when the shows are fully done. I know we're doing Agatha All Along on Challenge Accepted. I don't think we're gonna do Penguin, but we'll see.